if you had to pick an upset for this weekend's card, who do you think gets upset?
Do you know what? I love Devin Haney versus Brian Norman. There's been a lot of it's a huge fight, and there's been obviously a lot of made about Devin Haney's performance in the last few fights. Obviously, we saw his performance on the Times Square New York card, and in a lot of people's view, that was quite a disappointing performance from a show point of view. You know, on a huge card like that in New York, you want to make a statement and put on a this is in New York, this is in Times Square, this is a huge fight. The world is watching, and you sort of, you know, the fight fans want to see a fight at the end of the day. This is boxing. We love boxing. We love the art of boxing, which Devin Haney is a master at, but we want to see entertainment. And when you're being put on a
Can we
stage like
say
this,
he's a master after we saw what we saw? And then after the Ramirez fight, like that didn't look like much of a master. People felt like he was not willing to engage. We didn't see his classic jab. We didn't see the mastery or the quote
mm,
unquote skill.
well, I suppose it all goes back to that Ryan Garcia fight now a few years ago, and it's been a lot's been made about has that really changed him as a person.
Mm-hmm.
He was before that fight, he was in a great place, and then Ryan Garcia does all his antics leading up to the fight. It looks like he's not even training, and then he makes, in many people's view, easy work of Devin Haney. And there was the whole obviously antics after, is he going to get sued or whatever? But you see in that fight after, he didn't want to engage as much. You see, he was very in and out. It was like an amateur style at points. He was throwing a jab and get straight out there as soon as possible. So it is going to be interesting on Saturday night to see, does he bring a fight? Does he stay on the back foot? But Brian Norman's a puncher, like we say. He's got that power, and he's quite a personality, quite a character in everything I've seen of him. So I think that's a huge opportunity for well, is it even an upset in many people's mind? But it's a fight I'm very much looking forward to on Saturday.
Yeah, Norman's personality definitely shining and is on front stage here for this build up. He says all the right things. So witty. When you can answer questions that quick on the fly and they're entertaining, you got something there.
Like I say, it's going to be very telling the first few rounds on Saturday night as to whether and what approach Devin's going to take. People saying, is he damaged goods? He's had what, 27 fights. I think he had over 30 fights as an amateur. He's about 27, 28 years of age. He's still young in his career as a boxer. There's a long way to go. If people are saying he's damaged goods at this stage, and that's not a good place to be in. But the public are very fickle in the boxing world. Opinions can change very quickly, and he only has to put in one statement performance for everybody to be on his side. And if he can do
Yeah.
that on Saturday night, it'll be a huge move for him in his career.